Have you ever felt deep down in your soul that you have a greater purpose, something divine and mysterious that calls you to something extraordinary? If so, you're on the right track. Being God's chosen one is a unique privilege, but also a challenge that few are willing to face. After all, what does it mean to be chosen by God for such a great mission? What are the obstacles that arise when you decide to follow this calling, and how do you overcome them? This video will show you what you need to know to live out your divine purpose, and best of all, how to turn every challenge into an opportunity for spiritual growth. You might think that being God's chosen one is a journey filled only with blessings and ease, but the reality is quite different. The truth is that many of the greatest spiritual challenges arise precisely when you commit to your divine destiny. Are you prepared to face them? Because the rewards are enormous, not only on a spiritual level, but also in your daily life, transforming the way you see the world around you. The big question is, how do you balance the difficulties and the rewards that come from this choice? That's the answer we're going to look for here together. Now, imagine for a moment, what if you could learn to deal with every difficulty as an opportunity for spiritual empowerment? What if, instead of feeling overwhelmed by challenges, you began to see them as a path to something greater? We'll show you how, by embracing your divine purpose, you can live a life of true clarity, peace, and fulfillment. The rewards of being one of God's chosen are deeper than you think, and closer than you think. Keep watching and find out how you can achieve it. Being God's chosen one is not a journey that is only about blessings and moments of peace. On the contrary, it's a path that requires courage, faith, and perseverance in the face of difficulties. When God chooses you for a great purpose, you somehow feel the weight of that responsibility. Suddenly, your decisions and actions are not just about you. They have a much greater impact. You begin to realize that everything you do resonates with the divine plan, and this can be frightening. The pressure to live according to this greater purpose often becomes difficult to bear. Imagine, for a moment, that you have the constant feeling that your choices are no longer just personal, but part of a heavenly plan. With every step you take, you feel the responsibility of making decisions that not only affect your life, but also the fate of those around you. This can be a crushing weight. What's worse, you often don't know exactly what the outcome of your actions will be. Insecurity, fear, and doubt can begin to invade your mind, causing you to ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I fulfilling God's plan for me? But it is precisely at this moment of crisis that faith comes into play. You begin to realize that challenges and difficulties are part of the process. It's not because things get difficult that God has abandoned you. In fact, these struggles are tests to strengthen your trust and faith in God. God's chosen ones don't have an easy path, but they have the guarantee that He is always by their side, even in the moments of greatest tribulation. Adversities are opportunities in disguise for you to grow spiritually, learn to trust more deeply, and understand the true meaning of your divine mission. One of the biggest challenges of being chosen by God is dealing with internal pressure. After all, when you know you're fulfilling a greater purpose, any mistake seems heavier. Failures are not just personal faults, but can be seen as deviations from the divine plan. You begin to question yourself constantly, fearing that by making a mistake, you may be damaging something much bigger. This fear of failure can be paralyzing, and many chosen find themselves in this dilemma. How do you go forward with confidence, knowing that the weight of the divine plan is on your shoulders? In addition, the path of God's chosen often involves a certain isolation. You may feel alone, as if no one around you understands the greatness of the mission you are carrying. Those around you may not see what you see, and this creates an emotional distance. This can be especially difficult when you feel you can't fully share your thoughts and feelings with others because your mission is unique and spiritual. This isolation can generate doubts, but it is also an opportunity to connect more deeply with God and your purpose. External questioning is also a constant. Many people around you may not understand your calling and may even mock or doubt the seriousness of your journey. The chosen one often faces criticism and even contempt because the world doesn't see with spiritual eyes. You may feel misunderstood or even rejected, but it is precisely in these moments of opposition that your faith is refined. Overcoming criticism and remaining steadfast in your divine purpose is one of the most difficult tests, but also one of the most rewarding. Finally, living as one of God's chosen doesn't mean having all the answers straight away. The unknown is a constant. God often doesn't reveal all the details of the plan at once. Instead, He guides you step by step, and you need to learn to trust the process even when the vision of the future seems blurred. Doubt and fear of the unknown are inevitable, but they are also essential parts of spiritual growth. If you are willing to take the necessary steps, even without seeing the path clearly ahead, you will discover that every challenge faced with faith will be an opportunity to get closer to the divine purpose. Being chosen by God isn't just about facing challenges, it's also about reaping the rewards He prepares for those who decide to embrace His plan. When you take on your divine purpose, something incredible happens. An inner peace begins to emerge that seems to come from a deep and secure place. This peace does not depend on external circumstances, but on the certainty that you are on the right path. Even in the midst of difficulties, this spiritual tranquility becomes a constant, and you feel more connected to your true self and the mission at hand. In addition to peace, one of the greatest rewards of being one of God's chosen is clarity of purpose. When you truly surrender to your calling, the world around you begins to make sense in a unique way. The doubts and questions that once seemed overwhelming begin to dissipate. With every step you take, it becomes clearer what you have been called to do and why you are here. You feel guided, as if a spiritual light is illuminating your path, showing you exactly where to go and what to do. The mission that once seemed distant is now something concrete and accessible. This clarity of purpose not only transforms your life, but also the lives of those around you. People who discover their divine calling experience a radical transformation. They start to live in a way that is more aligned with their true essence, which naturally has a positive impact on their community and family. A powerful story is that of people who, after surrendering to their divine purpose, become sources of inspiration and leadership. Not only do they find meaning in their lives, but they also help guide others towards their own purpose. This creates a virtuous cycle of spiritual transformation that goes beyond the individual and affects everyone around them. Have you ever noticed how people who live according to their divine purpose seem to radiate a different energy? They have something that goes beyond material success. It's a spiritual presence that attracts blessings and opportunities. When you are aligned with the divine plan for your life, doors open in unexpected ways. Perhaps not immediately, but over time you begin to see material rewards coming your way. The work you do, the relationships you build, and even financial or emotional difficulties begin to resolve themselves because you are following a path that has God's approval. Imagine, now that you have fully embraced your purpose and have started to live with more focus and clarity, suddenly you notice that life begins to flow more smoothly. Your decisions seem more sound, your professional life begins to thrive, and your personal relationships become deeper and more authentic. This happens because when you follow the path that God has laid out for you, your energy and actions begin to align with the spiritual laws of the universe. Material rewards, prosperity, health, relationships begin to manifest naturally as a consequence of being in the flow of divine purpose. These rewards go beyond what is visible and tangible. The greatest reward of all is inner transformation. When you follow your purpose with faith and trust, you start to become a better version of yourself. Your character is refined, your wisdom expands, and you begin to see life through different eyes. What once seemed like a burden now becomes a mission full of meaning. This internal change is one of the greatest rewards that God's chosen can experience. The peace of knowing that you are fulfilling your true mission and becoming the best version of yourself. But the question is, are you ready to embrace these rewards? Are you prepared to receive the blessings that come when you completely surrender to God's plan for your life? It's not an easy path, but it's the path that brings more meaning, more peace, and more fulfillment. When you decide to live as one of God's chosen, the rewards that come are much more than material. They transform your life, your mind, and even your soul. Living as one of God's chosen is not a linear journey, filled only with blessings and moments of euphoria. In fact, one of the biggest challenges is learning to balance the ups and downs that are part of this journey. All of us, as human beings, go through moments of struggle, when the rewards seem distant and the journey seems more difficult than expected. However, it is precisely in these moments of challenge that the most profound lessons are learned. What sets God's chosen apart is the ability to handle these ups and downs with wisdom. Faith is the key to finding balance in times of struggle. When the winds of adversity start blowing, faith in God is what keeps you on your feet. It doesn't mean that everything will be easy or that problems will disappear instantly. Faith is trusting that, despite the difficulties, you are being guided by a greater purpose. Every difficulty is an opportunity to strengthen your connection with the divine and to refine your vision of purpose. When you have faith, you understand that difficult moments are not punishments, but an essential part of the spiritual growth process. In addition to faith, prayer plays a fundamental role in balancing challenges and rewards. Prayer is not just a request for help, but a constant conversation with God, an exchange of wisdom and direction. It is in moments of silence and prayer that you receive clarity and guidance on the next step to take. When the rewards seem distant and the difficulties overwhelming, prayer connects you to the divine plan and reminds you that you are not alone on this journey. Prayer brings the peace needed to overcome moments of doubt, and it is through prayer that we often find the strength to continue. Another fundamental aspect for balancing the challenges and rewards on the path of the One is self-acknowledge. When you know yourself deeply, you can better discern your emotions, your strengths and weaknesses. This understanding of yourself is crucial for the spiritual journey, as it allows you to perceive the areas that need to be worked on, as well as giving you the clarity you need to deal with difficult moments. Self-acknowledge also helps you recognize and enjoy the rewards that come into your life, because you become more aware of the blessings that are already present, even in the midst of struggle. It's important to remember that challenges are not a sign of failure, but of growth. Many people who choose to follow their divine purpose end up being disappointed when difficulties arise. They expect that being chosen is only about immediate and visible blessings. But what about when difficulties arise? When the path seems more tortuous and the rewards are distant, you start to ask yourself, did I make the right choice? Has God abandoned me? This is the moment when many people give up because they have a distorted view of being chosen. They believe that difficulties are not part of God's purpose, but in fact, they are essential to prepare you for what is to come. A powerful story of balance comes from people who, in times of struggle, decided not to give up, but to go deeper into their faith and prayer. These individuals went through financial difficulties, health problems, and even rejection, but remained focused on their purpose. Over time, these difficulties turned into tests of endurance and confidence, and the rewards came in unexpected ways. They realized that the path of the One was not about the absence of problems, but about the ability to face these difficulties with confidence, knowing that, in the end, everything would work together for the greater good. Now let's reflect. Are you prepared to deal with the moments when the rewards are not visible? The life of the chosen one is made up of ups and downs, and the key to success lies in how you deal with them. It's not a question of avoiding pain or struggle, but of knowing that it is part of God's greater purpose for your life. With faith, prayer, and self-acknowledge, you will not only overcome these difficult moments, but you will also emerge from them stronger and more prepared for the rewards to come. The path of the chosen one requires endurance, but the rewards that come along this journey are priceless. Now that you understand the challenges, rewards, and balance needed to live as one of God's chosen, it's time to take action. Remember that the path won't be easy, but by embracing your divine purpose, you are aligning yourself with something much bigger than yourself. Believe that, even in the difficulties, God is guiding your every step, and by trusting in this process, you will see transformation take place in your life, both spiritually and materially. If this video spoke to your heart, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more content on how to live your divine purpose to the full. Also, leave a like if you think this content can help other people understand the spiritual journey of God's chosen ones. Your contribution is essential for more lives to be touched by these messages.